everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Hollyoaks has finally explained the truth about Ethan Williams' death, with Sienna Blake admitting to murder after months of suspense. The character was pushed off a balcony on his wedding day back in October, though the identity of the murderer wasn't revealed immediately. Despite this, Jez had told his mother, Martha, that she was responsible, with a twist occurring on Monday, December 23, as Sienna confessed to the crime. This understandably enraged Martha, with Tuesday's, December 24, installment beginning as Jez admitted that he knew all along that Sienna was guilty. Jez, whilst dressed as Santa at the grotto, explained that he blamed Martha in order to keep the heat off Sienna, though she lambasted him for his treatment of his mother, and also for seemingly absolving Sienna of the crime. Sienna explained that the murder came after Ethan begged for forgiveness after he got Vicky pregnant, admitting that she saw red after he insensitively spoke about their relationship. An emotional Sienna reasoned that she couldn't hide her guilt any longer and would hand herself in to the police, adding that she didn't want to burden poor Martha any longer. In a heart-to-heart, Jez convinced Sienna to reconsider as he urged her to think of her children, saying the devastation and horrible sadness that Sienna felt was punishment enough. He added that it was her duty to protect her children, adding that no good would come from telling the truth, but only anguish. As the pair returned home, Jez and Martha spoke about the ordeal, with the pair remarking that Sienna was a Blake through and through. The quiet village of Hollyoaks was no stranger to drama, but the enigma surrounding Ethan Williams' death had haunted the community for months. Whispers of conspiracy, betrayal, and dark secrets had turned the tragedy into a powder keg of suspicion. Now, at long last, the truth was about to come out. It all started with a missing piece of evidence. Nancy Osborne, ever the sharp-witted investigator, had stumbled across an old diary while cleaning out the school archives. At first glance, it seemed like nothing more than a student's scribbles. But as she flipped through the pages, one name kept appearing: Ethan. The entries hinted at a clandestine affair, blackmail, and a night that ended in disaster. Nancy took the diary straight to Sienna Blake, who was as intrigued as she was unsettled. "We need to figure out who wrote this," Nancy said, her voice taut with urgency. Sienna nodded, already scanning the pages for clues. "This handwriting looks familiar," she murmured. "And these dates, they match up with the time Ethan was last seen alive." The diary revealed that Ethan had been entangled in a web of deceit with a mysterious individual, identified only as D. This person had been leveraging Ethan's secrets to manipulate him, culminating in a heated confrontation on the night of his death. Flashback: the night of Ethan's death. The night Ethan died, a thunderstorm raged over Hollyoaks. Ethan had been seen arguing with Darren Osborne outside the dog in the pond. Witnesses reported raised voices and an exchange that seemed anything but friendly. Darren had always maintained his innocence, insisting the argument was about an unpaid debt and nothing more. But with the diary now pointing to a deeper connection, Darren's story was under scrutiny once again. Ethan had left the pub that night, heading toward the woods. It was the last time anyone saw him alive. His body was discovered the next morning, partially submerged in a shallow stream. The official cause of death was ruled as accidental drowning, but many had questioned the verdict. Now it seemed those doubts were warranted. A shocking revelation. As Nancy and Sienna delved deeper, they uncovered something chilling. The diary belonged to Donnie Roscoe. Donnie, who had recently returned to the village, had been keeping a low profile since Ethan's death. But his connection to Ethan wasn't just casual. The two had been working together in a risky scheme involving stolen cars and fake identities, a secret operation that had spiraled out of control. When confronted, Donnie initially denied everything. But as Nancy and Sienna pressed him, his facade crumbled. "Fine," he snapped. "You want the truth. Ethan got greedy. He wanted out, but you don't just walk away from something like that without consequences. Donnie revealed that Dee was a pseudonym he'd used to communicate with Ethan. The blackmail in the diary wasn't about silencing Ethan. It was about keeping him from exposing their operation to the police. On the night of his death, Ethan had threatened to go public. In a desperate attempt to stop him, Donnie had followed him into the woods. "I didn't mean for things to go that far," Donnie confessed, his voice breaking. "We fought, and he fell into the stream. I thought he'd give up, but he didn't." A web of lies. Donnie's confession should have been the end of the story, but it wasn't. As the news spread through the village, new details began to surface. It turned out that Ethan's death wasn't just the result of a heated argument, it was part of a larger cover-up. The stolen car operation had ties to more prominent figures in Hollyoaks, including Fergus Collins, who had been orchestrating the scheme from behind the scenes. Though Fergus was long dead, his shadow still loomed large. Evidence suggested that he had been pressuring Donnie and Ethan to expand their operation, using threats to keep them in line. But Fergus wasn't the only one involved. Ethan's autopsy report, previously dismissed as routine, was re-examined. This time, forensic experts found signs of a struggle. Bruises on Ethan's arms and neck that suggested he had been restrained. It was no longer just an accidental drowning. Ethan had been murdered. A final twist. In a shocking twist, it was revealed that Sienna herself had unwittingly played a role in Ethan's downfall. Months before his death, Ethan had confided in her about his fears. At the time, Sienna had been too wrapped up in her own drama to take him seriously. Now, she was consumed by guilt. "I could have stopped this," she told Nancy. "If I had just listened to him, maybe he'd still be alive." But Nancy refused to let her friend spiral into self-blame. "This isn't your fault," she said firmly. "The people who did this to Ethan are the ones who need to pay. Justice for Ethan." With Donnie's confession and the new evidence, the case was reopened. Police launched a full investigation, leading to multiple arrests. Donnie was charged with manslaughter, while several others faced charges related to the stolen car operation. For Ethan's family and friends, the truth brought a bittersweet sense of closure. They would never get him back, but at least they could finally lay him to rest knowing what had happened. As the village came together for a candlelit vigil in Ethan's memory, Nancy and Sienna stood side by side, reflecting on the events that had unfolded. "Hollyoaks has a way of keeping secrets," Sienna said softly. "But in the end, the truth always comes out." Nancy nodded. "And when it does, it changes everything." Epilogue. In the weeks that followed, the village began to heal. The case had exposed hidden connections and shattered long-standing alliances, but it had also brought people closer together. For Sienna, the experience was a turning point. She decided to channel her guilt into something positive, launching a community initiative to support at-risk youth. Meanwhile, Nancy returned to her role as a trusted confidant, helping others navigate their struggles. Ethan's death would always be a painful chapter in Hollyoaks' history, but his story had left an indelible mark. A reminder that even in the darkest moments, the truth has the power to set us free. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Hollyoaks Update YouTube channel for more update news.